Okay, so in this problem we are told that the lengths of the sides of a right triangle are consecutive even integers. Well, what we have to understand is with consecutive even integers, we have to understand what that means. So if x is any even integer, and that's our starting place here, we're just going to call the first of these integers x. If x is an even integer, then how do we get to the next even integer? Well, x plus 2. Even integers are 2 apart. For instance, 14, 16, 18. Those are consecutive even integers. So they're always 2 apart if they're even integers. So x plus 2, the next one after that, we would add 2 again, so x plus 2 makes x plus 4. So if we drew a picture, we would have a triangle that looks like this. Now, the hypotenuse in a right triangle is always the longest side, so that has to be our x plus 4. So this is not at all to scale in any way, shape, or form. It's just x is the shortest side because it was our smallest integer. X plus 2 is a little bit bigger, and x plus 4 is the longest side, which in a right triangle is always the hypotenuse. So let's go ahead and set this up into the Pythagorean theorem and solve. So we have x squared plus the square of x plus 2 equals the square of x plus 4. So that is your a squared plus b squared equals c squared from the Pythagorean theorem. Or the sum of the squares of the legs is equal to the square of the hypotenuse, is how we would say that in words. So now let's do a little simplifying here. Well, x squared, can't do anything with that, but x plus 2 quantity squared means x plus 2 times x plus 2. So if we actually multiply that out, we get x squared plus 4x plus 4. Don't lose that middle term. You need to use the FOIL process perhaps to multiply x plus 2 times x plus 2. And then when we square x plus 4, same thing, don't forget about the middle term. Actually multiply that out and you get x squared plus 8x plus 16. Okay, so let's move things around here so that we get that very important equals 0, because we're going to have a quadratic equation. So this will give us x squared minus 4x minus 12. And what I did there was subtract x squared from both sides, subtract 8x from both sides, and subtract 16 from both sides. So that's how I ended up with x squared minus 4x minus 12 equals 0. So now we can proceed here by factoring. I know that two numbers that multiply to make negative 12 and add to make a positive 4 are negative 6 and positive 2. So this factors into x minus 6 times x plus 2, which will give us, from zero factor property, x minus 6 equals 0, x plus 2 equals 0. So that'll give us x equals 6. X equal negative 2 is not going to be a valid answer to this problem. So I'm just going to cross that one out right now. Remember that x is the length of a side in a triangle. Lengths cannot be negative, so negative 2 doesn't make any sense, so we'll just cross that one off. But x equals 6, that just gives us the smallest side in the triangle. So we still need the other two sides. So x plus 2, 6 plus 2 makes 8, and x plus 4 I just squeeze that in up here. X plus 4, 6 plus 4 makes 10. So the three consecutive integers, even integers, who can be the sides of a right triangle, according to the Pythagorean theorem, would be 6, 8, and 10. So the lengths of these sides are 6, 8, and 10.